Radiant team pick.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Epicenter qualifiers for the European region. Singularity versus Vega Squadron. Game 2 on the way, as Game 1 was won pretty handily by the Vega Squadron side. Singularity grouped up a little bit too much. It is a really delicate balance in Dota. You gotta make sure you take objectives, but don't lose too much CS when you're taking it. And Vega Squadron just stall, and then bust out with a couple of big farmed heroes. Turns out it's just what the doctor ordered. Singularity gonna drop game 1, and we'll see if they're gonna stay in to face Empire in the next phase, or if they're gonna drop out right now. If they win this, then Empire right after, and then winner of that faces up against Na'Vi, and then winner of that faces up against Secret. And if you lose, you're out. I'm Mike Loris, gonna be your caster for this game. Vega Squadron looking real hot over in game 1. Afterlife with an absolute massive Nyx Assassin performance. G and the real you Aloha dance, farming it up as per usual. And we'll see if Singularity are going to throw a curveball in right now. They're going to once again pick up that Crystal Maiden, and we have seen what happened to Crystal Maidens in the past. Luckily for her, there is no Tree and Protector to burst her bubble early on, but it's definitely not too late for Vega Squadron to pick up one of those very deadly 4-position heroes and stomp the CM into the ground early on. And no one can really do it, I don't think, as well as a Tree and Protector, simply because Tree and Protector is able to close in instantly because he has Invis. Now Vega Squadron can still go for a Tusk, and with this opening I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that in the third box to sit on the CM, but it won't be nearly as effective. Legion Commander and Warlock, though, for the Vega Squadron side. Good mix of pick-off and team fight here, but the real takeaway is that they have a lot of sustain now. Legion Commander with that press the attack is actually really good up against Crystal Maiden, and now really good up against the Phoenix as well. That Fire Spirit, at least, the first one or the last one or whatever one you decide to purge off, one of them will be taken away. You can also get rid of the stun from the Supernova, which may or may not be useful. But between that and the Shadow Word, a lot of slow sustain here from the Vega Squadron side, just slow regeneration. And Singularity now picking up the Phoenix, have all that much burst damage coming out from their supports. Still, they do pick up the Phoenix, and we'll have some pretty big ultimates in that CM and that Supernova. We'll see if they're going to protect this Phoenix's ultimate at all. Again, Juggernaut, Lifestealer, Ursa, I think are probably the best heroes to get if you're looking to just pick off a Phoenix egg. And right now, those seem about all equally as viable, right? For Vega Squadron, all of them can go just as well with the Warlock. It'll work out pretty well. That's why I usually don't see Phoenix this early on in the draft. If we do see him, it's usually, I would say, in the second phase, sometimes even in the 5th phase. It is a hero that you can't just pick up and then kind of be okay with. Like, Warlock is a hero that you pick up, and no matter what the situation, you're like, you know what, we have the Warlock. We'll have a solid lane support, and we will have the heals, and we'll have that big teamfight ultimate. Phoenix, you do get all of that. But except for the solid lane support, where Phoenix can't really do all that much. We saw the weakness in the Phoenix last game as Silent really struggled early on.
10 seconds.
It is really a mid-late game support hero, whereas someone like a Warlock is able to really take it through all phases. So I'm not really a huge fan of the early pick Phoenix, although I do think the hero is good enough to be picked. Not really a huge fan of second pick. Really want to see a Tusk here from Vega Squadron. Monkey King also viable. Although with the Phoenix, I'm not really sure if that's really better than a Tusk. It's not. Like, it will be Bounty Hunter instead. Okay, looks like Sioma is going to want to play something a little bit different here. You really don't want to play Monkey King up against Phoenix. The tree clearing and the scouting from the Crystal Maiden as well with the Nova is just a little bit too much for the Monkey King to deal with. So Bounty Hunter is a little bit of a twist here for Vega Squadron. With Legion Commander and a Warlock, you can take it late. You can go really early aggressively. Bounty Hunter, the selection for Vega, and is going to set them off onto a snowball-y type plan, except with no Tusk. Feels bad, man. No snow. This is going to be a little bit of an interesting scenario, though, because Vega, though they do have, well, they actually don't have access to Terrorblade. Never mind. I was going to say, like, they can Terrorblade, they can't Shadow Fiend, but both of those have been banned out by Singularity, and with the Phoenix, will look to further protect their towers. It is really, really hard to kill structures as either SF or Terrorblade once the Fire Spirits come out. They'll take an Ursa instead and try to use that to gain a favorable lane up against the Abaddon pick from Team Singularity. And that will be, the best that Vega can hope for. They don't really have a lot of kill power in that lane outside of that Ursa. Warlock great at poking, but not really good at killing. Kind of the same thing for a Bounty Hunter. So that should be in a Abaddon lane where he is able to get pretty full experience out of it. And this Abaddon pick is also just really good in general. Being able to help out whoever is caught in that duel with the heals. Being rather duel-proof himself. Best of all, though, it's a spammable way to get rid of that track from Vega Squadron. So the Bounty Hunter is not going to run into any sort of lasting vision advantage. He will still get the gold if he's able to fire it off, and then the Ursa can let loose, or the Legion Commander can get in there with a duel. So yeah, it's still nice in that regard, but as far as actually getting vision, not going to be very easy as the Bounty Hunter in this game. That being said, though it will cost the Bounty Hunter a little bit of his utility, it is still going to have a lot of impact for Vega Squadron if they're able to just get a handful of kills. They'll have scaling from the Legion Commander and the Bounty Hunter. And the only thing that Vega Squadron are lacking right now is a little bit of tower destruction. TA, Shadow Fiend, both banned out. Usually going to be those mid lane heroes that kill off towers the best. The Ember Spirit is the pick here for Team Singularity, going towards mid, which is actually going to enable Vega Squadron to switch up the lanes a little bit. They can put the Ursa in the mid lane with a favorable matchup versus the Ember Spirit, and then get a Vengeful Spirit core for the safe lane, and then really go aggro. I think that's definitely a way to go. If you see Team Singularity, they pick up the Ember Spirit, mostly because Vega only really have the duel as a real form of disable. So the Ember Spirit's going to be very elusive. With the Abaddon and Crystal Maiden sustain, he'll be very, very difficult to bring down in the mid-late stages. But in the early laning phase, with the Phoenix and a Crystal Maiden, there's not much that Singularity can do to help out an Ember Spirit who's falling behind. So I would like that kind of strategy to come out from the Vega Squadron side. Put the Ursa in a position where he can still get farmed like in mid, and then get a little bit more of an aggressive pusher for the safe lane. Along those lines, a Luna might not be the worst either, although we'll have to worry about the Fire Spirits quite a bit. Troll Warlord would obviously accomplish a very similar thing. Troll Warlord with Legion Commander is actually pretty dirty if Vega Squadron are able to pick that one up. Singularity, looking for their safe lane, is expecting to have a pretty easy time up against that Legion Commander. Crystal Maiden and Phoenix, again, not the best lane supports, but should be enough to poke at a Legion Commander enough to just get some, at least those press the attacks off. If they really want to deny that hard, they pick up an Anti-Mage, but it does seem like they have quite a few options here, seeing as though Vega Squadron's still very, very stun light. So Slark is in the pool, Anti-Mage is in the pool, Weaver's in the pool, Morphling for Singularity. Actually, Morphling seems pretty sick here. Wow, Morphling is actually insane for Singularity, now that I think of it. They just don't have any, like, great illusions to make, but that's not a big deal if you're a Morphling. Would really like that for their safe lane. Vega Squadron will struggle a lot to deal with that hero. Yeah, the only issue, I guess, with that hero is that it takes a little while longer for him to get up online as compared to some other heroes. So yeah, picking up like a Slark to get rid of that Bounty Hunter track himself, also not that bad. So we're going to see a Slark pick from Singularity, and then an immediate Vengeful Spirit pick for Vega Squadron. Calling it right now. Or they're just going to say, screw all of that. We're just going to pick up like a Dragon Knight for Vega Squadron mid, give it to G, and look to take down towers. I feel like every single time I see G play a Dragon Knight, though, he loses. I'm not really sure if that just like stays for a random reason, or if that's actually what happens. I don't know the stats offhand, obviously, but oh, new hero? New hero PogChamp? Lone Druid. I haven't seen this guy since that Sniper Druid nerf. Potentially a very powerful hero, but more often than not, I would say, at least in this matchup, is expected to be in for a rough time. Having that bear as kind of a secondary disabler while your main hero just kind of kites the Ursa and the Legion Commander, that can be very powerful. But Ursa can kill off the bear just like that. He is the alpha bear in the relationship. And Legion Commander can just bypass the bear, jump straight in for the Druid. Again, the bear will give him a little bit of protection if he's dueled, but it's really not enough. There's so many ways for Vega Squadron to close the distance, and speaking of, we'll grab a Lifestealer as their last pick. That is definitely not a Vengeful Spirit, but it is going to be a hero that has a kind of a, a love-hate relationship with Lone Druid. You're really good at killing the Lone Druid, but the bear also has a way of piercing through your rage. Even discounting that fact, Lifestealer, as I mentioned earlier, along with that Ursa, two of the best, if not two, top 1 and 2 at killing off a Phoenix egg. So if Phoenix is gonna supernova, he has to make sure that he is a good distance away and or has a lot of cover and or is on top of a cliff or something like that. Because Lifestealer can just put up rage. Ursa can just go angry. The overpower, the fury swipes. I guess it's just overpower, not fury swipes versus the egg. And then tear the Phoenix a new one. This is also a hero for Vega Squadron that is more than willing to pick up a Desolator. So if they're able to get that, then that will give them their tower pushing power. Singularity have quite a bit of that as well with this Lone Druid pickup. And the sustain from the Phoenix and the Abaddon will make that siege, if it is going to be a Singularity in a siege position, really, really easy. There's not much chip damage that Vega Squadron can throw out. Their AoE clearing much isolated to a Legion Commander, and the overwhelming odds, which is fine, but it's not going to kill off a Lone Druid with that much sustain behind him. If they ever do get into that position for Singularity, it is so easy for them to force a fight. But then again, unless Vega fall behind very quickly, I'm pretty sure with this lineup, they're going to be itching for fights 24/7. Again, this is a pure snowballing draft, a pure brawling draft from Vega. They want to close the distances. They want to be fighting 24/7. Just always, always right-clicking. Just look at the amount of melee heroes. Pretty much that's all you have to look at, right? More melee heroes means that typically the team wants to fight more often. There's actually a pretty good relationship there. By the way, this looking xenomorph looking thing for the Lifestealer, absolutely sick. Like, come on. How could you not say that that's like the best skin in the game? Absolutely nasty skin for the Lifestealer. But he's going to be played by Aloha Dance, who apparently is AFK. Afterlife is going to be handling the safe lane. Legion Commander G is on the mid lane. Ursa, again, good matchup in mid, I would expect. Silent is on the lock. And where did the Bounty Hunter go? He is already in the enemy woods, and he's trying to conceal his position. God damn it. Why? Sioma? Is that Sioma or is that Nisha? I'm not sure. It's very, very similar color there. But I can't really see shit on the minimap because they're drawing on it. God damn it, guys. Either way, it's going to be Catcher on the Phoenix. We'll click on the portraits, I guess. Elisage, once again, on the CM. Exotic Deer is not a deer. He is a bear. The Lone Druid over towards bottom lane. It's going to be Patos' Abaddon. And over in mid, Nisha, the Ember Spirit. Stop drawing. Triggered. Triggered. Oh well. The CM is going to have a much better time in this game. Already has the Dust. Quick sentry check. 2 sets. Or 2 wards, I guess. 1 set on the Phoenix. Sioma's going to have to play this very, very carefully. Not the most kill power up against these Singularity supports. Again, low armor, very slow immobile heroes on the Phoenix and CM. But there's so much preparation and detection on there. And oh my god, Singularity have really got to stop. You know? This is like the only thing that triggers me as a caster. And I didn't even know it up till now. I had no idea. But this right here, I'm not okay with. I'm not okay with this situation that's happening right now. I can't see anything. Guys, I'm blind. I'm blind. Somebody get me out of this. Why do I see their drawings? Can I clear it? Is there some button to clear the minimap? There should be. Just like a, push this to clear the, it's like clearing a whiteboard, just sweeps it all away. I don't think the minimap is used enough to make that like a real feature. That would be kind of cool though. I can't even like look away from it. It's awful. But we'll see if this Legion Commander is going to find much success on the bottom lane. Aloha Dance going up towards top. Really looking to abuse the fact that CM and Phoenix are kind of useless early game supports. Pressure that Lone Druid. Starting the fights though, still a concern. If this Warlock was a Rubik, they'd be feeling much better about it. But seeing as though they have really no catch. Not really sure how they kill a Lone Druid with Windlace. Like, he'll just always be out of range. Plus 50 damage, plus 175 attack range, minus 40 seconds respawn time. Lone Druid may not be quite as powerful as he was before, but he can still, if given an okay start and an okay amount of farm, just destroy structures and be kind of cancerous to play against. It just happens a little bit later in the game, which is, of course, less oppressive. The real you, Aloha Dance, please come back. Please come back so I don't have to look at this mini-map anymore. Just gonna, like, tab out. I'm out of here, guys. Patos is going to be going 1v1 up against Legion Commander. Oh, can you relay them this message? What is the matter? Afterlife is going to be doing just fine up against the Abaddon, but the Abaddon should have a pretty even matchup here as well. Gotta watch out for this moment of courage, though. Any sort of proc from Afterlife can do a lot of quick damage to the Abaddon, but also the Abaddon with the Photic Shield, with the Curse, probably going to draw even in this lane. I'm pretty sure this was just called... Wasn't this just called Frostmourne in Dota 1? Curse of Avernus? I'm pretty sure it was, because it's the... Abaddon's the Death Knight model. And I'm pretty sure that ability was just called Frostmourne. Obviously, you can't do that, because I hear there's a company based in on the West Coast United States that owns that name, Frostmourne. You guys ever hear of that? I haven't heard of that before. I don't know. I'm not really sure what that is. Ping issues. I'm gonna say it's probably not ping issues, and that Aloha Dance is just AFK. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Judging by the lack of movement, the lack of items on this lifestealer, I think that's kind of what's going on here. But hey, he's alive. He's moving. Probably would behoove him to buy some items. Now he's testing ping. You tell that. Like, that's the I'm testing the ping movement right there. Poor man shield going top. Catcher. Can somebody tell me how to pronounce this guy's name? I'm pretty sure it's Catcher. Already being poked at by Sioma. Boots first on the Bounty Hunter. No Orb of Venom. Usually the two are very similar, at least similar enough in what they do for the Bounty Hunter. But in this particular lane, you really want that extra slow of the Orb of Venom.
30 seconds.
It's not going to, completely swing the lane. It's like, okay, Orb of Venom, we win the lane. But it will certainly help them in their offensive tri-lane or offensive dual lane endeavor. Their goal is to try to keep tabs on the CM and the Phoenix. Keep eyes on them, keep them possible. And then make the 1v1 mid stay a 1v1. Because that lane is going to be very nice for the Phoenix. The Ursa. I was thinking Phoenix, looking at Ursa, thinking about Ursa. It's the Ursa 1v1 mid matchup. Especially if the Bounty Hunter is able to poke in a handful of times. Sioma is already on the roam. And how cautious Singularity? Not cautious enough. Delivery for Sioma. There goes the Courier, and there goes the Quelling Blade for Ember Spirit. Now, base damage-wise, they are very similar, so not having the Quelling Blade is not really the end of the world here for Nisha. But he also just won't have that Courier, so deliveries to help him sustain up against his Ursa. Not going to be coming in. He only has 2 shared Tangos, and Ursa in this matchup can just run at Nisha and just never ever stop. He's going to get denied, get A denied. People are fighting over towards top lane. Maybe I should look at Sioma dying. Dusted up. It's lasting for quite a while. Catcher, one more shot. Oh, he's too slow. That's the boots first there from Sioma, keeping him alive. Now healed up by the Warlock. One more Tango and he'll be at full. Phoenix and CM, not much kill power, as I already said. That's the best they could probably have hoped for. The real you, Feast level 1. Poor man's shield will take very little damage, if any damage at all, from this lone druid, and Feast actually destroys the bear. Misiek Sarenki is the name of this bear. Did not realize Exotic Deer. Yeah, just a couple of hits and Feast just, well, it gives Lifestealer a hell of a lot of HP, first of all, but man, look at this damage from the Lifestealer, already forcing out a Savage Roar. Sioma doing what he can, but oh man, we have brawls happening all over the place. Gene's putting the screws to Nisha. He does not really have a great way of getting through that shield. Earth Shock is only kind of mediocre. It's really all about that Fury Swipes and the right-click damage. But this bottom lane is, again, progressing as you would expect. Legion getting CS, Patos getting CS, everyone having a grand old time over in bottom. Nisha already forced to crack into his first shrine. Ursa still very healthy in this mid lane, plus has courier access, plus has Sioma access. Bounty Hunter be stalking. Bounty Rune is picked up by a catcher. Nisha is getting poked at a little bit. Really, that's all they want. Just mess with this Ember Spirit as much as possible. Make him fall behind in CS. And already we can see Ursa tripling the CS of the Ember Spirit. And Ember Spirit kind of awkwardly wandering around looking for answers. The answer should be coming out on the courier, right? One would assume. That would be the logical conclusion that, hey, the courier's alive. Maybe I should send it out so I can get a delivery. Nope. Get wrecked. Sioma's going to get it a second time. And that is going to give Vega Squadron, who are, yes, favorable in CS, but an 1800 lead. Just 2-3 minutes in the game. And then the BM pause. Again, this might actually be ping issues, but Sioma is absolutely destroying this game. He played fantastically on the Treant Protector, wrecked Elisash a couple of times in the last game, and this time, instead of wrecking one hero, one support hero, he's wrecking everybody, because the Ember Spirit isn't getting that courier, and every single time the courier falls, that means he has to make another delivery over in mid lane, which means he can't get a delivery over towards the Abaddon. He can't go up towards top lane with the delivery either, so this is stalling up the courier's movements by so long. And Nisha, he's forced to jungle. Both shrines have already been used, and now mid lane is empty for G to crush. That is such a huge advantage for only 3 minutes in the game. And also keep in mind, as I said earlier, the CS is just going slightly better for the Vega Squadron side. Bottom lane is a wash. Top lane, Aloha Dance is getting so much free CS because he doesn't have to be scared of anything. There's nothing that could actually threaten this Lifestealer. If he gets phase boots, these heroes will start to fall. He'll open wounds on catcher, slap Elisash around a little bit, and look, he took no damage. Phase boots will open up the door for actual kills here on the Lifestealer. Up till now, it's just harassment, but man, look at the damage add up. It's actually kind of scary, and then just a couple of shots on the bear and he's back up to full HP. What creep damage? What harassment damage? It's not there. It's not relevant. And the CM, in the meantime, needs to find a time and space to jungle. So does the Phoenix, honestly. Like, these heroes are not supposed to be lane supports, yet here they are. In a lane that, though, may not be super dangerous, is still one that they are not slowing down in the slightest. At least Patos is having a great time on the Abaddon. It does seem like Patos is usually going to have very consistent lanes from what I've seen of him. Like, some slightly better, some slightly worse, but overall, every single time he's going to be getting what he wants. Legion Commander, he's going to chug down his salve, doesn't have any heat. You can't really out-sustain an Abaddon in lane. Abaddon should always be getting the edge and chip, but we can see the CS is still even, so it doesn't even matter what chip damage you put in, since you will never really get the kill. Alright, Courier's back up. And one would assume it will be logical to say that with a Courier respawning like this, it should be able to make its delivery. But Nisha is actually not going to need the Courier, because he went all the way back to the base, and then he is now the Courier for himself. I mean, he has his items, I guess, but it's going to cost him a lot. He's level 4 versus the almost level 6 of Ursa. Catcher is going to arrive, mess with G, but phase boots on the Ursa means that he can just charge at the Phoenix and force out a dive. Gonna hurt the Phoenix a lot by doing so, but also, like, dive has such a long cooldown. 36 seconds is an eternity for this Phoenix. So if you are able to force out a dive, then go in for round 2, who knows what can happen. G, getting some Shadow Word healing. He's going to prioritize CS, obviously. Only with Silent here, he can't really go fully aggro. It's not like Warlock has his Rock just yet. The Bounty Hunter's been roaming around quite a bit. 2 Courier Snipes is fantastic. And is looking for an intercept onto Patos, retreating perhaps. Shield is coming to an end here. Elisash is well in the area. Did not get a glimpse of Sioma. Shield is going to pop. Sioma hunting a CM just like old times, right? I remember this from last game. Elisash this time, though, has a lot of mana, is level 3. And being chased by a level 2 Bounty Hunter. So Sioma should fall back and should be just fine in doing so. Although he's going to get dusted up. Cut off by Catcher as well. Frostbitten again. And will get popped here by the neutrals. Oh lordy, Sioma is not getting all that much experience, but he is getting so much space for his allies. Like, this is not a game where we're going to have a fast track, and he's going to start destroying everyone. This is a game where he's just buying space for his allies to not worry about 3 heroes at a time, not worry about the enemy getting courier deliveries. It's a really kind of passive form of winning the lanes. But hey, whatever works, right? Lifesteal in the meantime, left alone up towards top lane. Doesn't have enough mana for an open, is drawing very, very even with Exotic Deer, to put it generously in favor of the Dire. This Lifestealer is having a grand old time, and he's really working without that much support. Now for Singularity, if they just weather the storm, if they're able to scrape together a couple of levels here and there, get their level 6 on the Ember Spirit, get their ultimates up on the Phoenix, on the Abaddon, just get the level 4 Bear, they will be able to fight back in the 10-15 minute mark. But we're not there yet. Vega Squadron are still playing this very aggressively. Nisha does not have his level 6 yet. G wants in. And with the Phoenix there, it will drive them all back. Good amount of damage coming out of that Firebird. For Vega Squadron, this is the start they want. Blink Dagger on Afterlife will set them onto an even more aggressive path. He does already have that duel, but killing off Patos is damn near impossibility. Patos actually going to pick up the borrowed time very early on. Deciding to get that instead of more points in that curse. Or just holding it just in case he is in trouble. So it's kind of a wasted skill point for right now, Patos. Not really sure if there's any threat at all of him dying. I'm not really sure if I'm a huge fan of that, but at the same time, it's probably not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. What might matter is Savage Roar, keeping the Lone Druid safe. Only level 2 Bounty Hunter, but with Arcane Boots. This might be the most wealthiest level 2 hero I've seen in my entire life. Most wealthiest. Yes, that happened. Silent. Jump now by the Icarus dive. Is going to drop a level 2 heal on himself. And with the Ember Spirit's arrival, Silent is going to get Goomba stomped into the ground. Really, that's first blood. It feels like there's been so many kills in this game, but there's all courier snipes. Suicides from Sioma on the neutrals. That's first blood for the Ember Spirit. With his bad matchup, that's going to get him a little bit closer to parity here, but G is running wild over in mid. Exotic Deer, Savage Roar is going to force G back. Does have his ultimate, will use it to break the chains, can't use it to break the Frostbite though. The damage is not quite enough. Huge overwhelming odds. Will drive everyone else from Singularity back. Maybe setting up for Sioma to get a cheesy pick off here on Exotic Deer, because he's sneaking behind. He's only level 2 on the Bounty Hunter, but even though he's level 6, Lone Druid, Shapeshift, Bear is going to get recalled in. One more shot, not quite going to do it. 13 HP, the Lone Druid survives. And Sioma, with a couple Fire Spirits, is going to get tracked up one more time, will fall. A greedy, greedy play from the Bounty Hunter, but it's a Lone Druid. You can't blame him for going for that. Going to duel to cancel. How much damage is he going to take for this? It'll be a relatively even damage trade. Patos still has his ultimate, obviously. They'll pop it. Sioma's going to arrive. He's stuck in the goop of the upheaval. But I'm not really sure where Patos was going. Either way, he's sticking around for a little while longer. Phase Boots and Afterlife chasing in. Patos with the shield and the phase himself is going to be just fine. That's 2-0 lead for Singularity, but the 2 courier snipes and just the passive winning of the lanes early on still putting this game quite in favor of the Vega Squadron. This Rage icon is actually sick. Xenomorph indeed. Sioma is going to get sentried. Is there any more dust? There is. Did it land? It didn't. Does Elaslash have anything else? Does Nisha have anything? No. They're all blind to Sioma. And this Bounty Hunter is only level 3, but Courier Snipes, Bounty Runes. Again, not really going to be the fastest level 6 in the world. But now he's going to look to mess with the CM. Again, just like old times. Trying to grab her centaurs. Or just share the experience. Sharing is caring. No, actually, Ursa's coming in pretty deep. It's the Invis Gank Squad. What is this? What game is this? Luckily for CM, she's not going to get jumped by. That could have been really messy. You can only frostbite one of them, right? And the one that you want to frostbite, the Ursa, has a just say no button in Enrage. So yeah, that was a super dead CM if she stuck around. Nisha forced to jungle, is level 8, and is having a pretty decent time recovering, all things considered. I mean, still not quite caught up to G, and he probably won't catch up to G for a very long time. But given how the early laning stage went, he has an admirable amount of farm. This top lane, though, is still a concern. Super fast Midas and the Lifestealer, now going to go for the Armlet, and is going to look for a dive onto Exotic Deer. There's a Savage Roar available, tower won't even be denied. Sioma's going to try to push back Exotic Deer. Savage Roar onto the Lifestealer should get the Bear and the main Druid out of there. They still lose a tower, and there's still no pressure being applied to this lifestealer. Again, super fast Hand of Midas, which is going to give him so much acceleration, but also a lot of DPS. Patos going to arrive, but they don't really have enough to catch up to Sioma. And now a wander through as well. Rage. Jesus, that looks sick. He has an infest into the Bounty Hunter if he really needs it. Dive from the Phoenix is going to see the TP. Silent does not have an ultimate, but it will still be enough to scare Singularity away. I'm not really sure what they can do about Aloha Dance. He'll be able to kill off these heroes so damn quickly once he gets this armlet. And of course, the Blink Dagger coming up on the Ursa will eventually be coming up on the Legion Commander, just 300 gold till she has it. And he already has an access route in with the Bounty Hunter, though the Bounty Hunter is only level 3. So Aloha Dance is ready to kill fools, but at the same time, might as well go back up to the top lane and continue farming, because clearly there's no risk to it. Got a whole bunch of heroes rotating, especially this Ursa. Has a shiny new Blink Dagger and wants to use it. And he wants to use it onto someone like Nisha, but I'm not really sure if they have enough lockdown for this. Here it comes. The burst damage is so high. Yes, they'll kill him off before the Fire Remnant can get away. Oh my god, that was a double damage Ursa as well. Okay, I'm pretty sure the double damage rune gets them the kill, and if they don't have it, they just don't get the kill. But I think the technical phrase is, doesn't matter, got kill. And now they'll go for the tower as well. Patos going to arrive. Even though he has his ultimate, he can still be dropped twice fairly easily if he's a little bit careless in this bottom lane. And still, the lifestealer's pushing top. There's just nothing that Singularity can do that is in any way assertive. And it seems like every single play that happens is going to be forced by Vega Squadron, and it's going to be up to Singularity to respond with heroes that aren't really great at responding. If they had a Tusk or a Dazzle, one of those type of heroes, or a Puck over in the mid lane, then their responses could be really, really potent. They don't really have that. It's really just the Ember Spirit who's kind of okay. And oh no, again, a hat trick for Sioma? This Bounty Hunter still doesn't have track. It doesn't matter though. He's slaughtering couriers 24/7. That's just mean, guys. Like, come on, man. What a bully, this Sioma. Afterlife, Blink Dagger, Lifestealer, Surprise. And he is not spotted just yet, I don't think, although there are a lot of heroes coming in. It's just Patos, really. Catcher is so close to death. Did they see the Legion Commander there? I think that's Yellow pinging in, the Lifestealer. Afterlife's still hunting. Somebody queue up to see a bear. They'll see the main hero, but the Savage Roar is going to be there. That means there's no duel, but they'll settle for Catcher. Icarus Dive away will get him a lot of distance, and Aloha Dance perhaps overcommitted. Off in the south, though, Nisha gonna try to go for Silent. Will get the kill there. G on his tail. We'll have to split the difference, though. He does have a little bit of help here coming in from Afterlife. There's a duel available to them as well, but G is not that healthy. They will take down Catcher up towards top. Exotic Deer looking for Sioma. Can't quite catch up to him. He doesn't have any offensive power. What does he have on the bear? Nothing but Midas. And Aloha Dance, very, very dead, but still alive. Hand of Midas, Open Moons. Hand of Midas, I think, is like, I don't know. In Dota 1, it was hard-coded to do like a certain amount of damage to instant-kill creeps. I don't think it's hard-coded the same way here. Not as successful an engagement as Vega we're really looking for. A little bit of good positioning there from Singularity, splitting up the fight a lot. Oh, Sioma is caught with the Nova. Chains are there available as well. Nisha, though, he is tracked up. Can very easily get that cleaned off by an Abaddon. It's not like the track is really going to matter. It is going to be a trade for Vega, as they are able to grab Roshan in the meantime. Give that the way of the Ursa, who, although he does have the Blink Dagger, hasn't really found many great opportunities to use it, much like Afterlife. Even though they haven't used it yet, they still have it, and they can use it very easily. This is forcing Singularity into a position where they kind of had to all group up, or in a very risky fashion, farm up these side lanes. We can already see Exotic Deer is starting to get to that right away. This is not a safe play by the Lone Druid. Already spotted by Sioma. Now, luckily enough for Exotic Deer, there's no one really in position to punish this. Everyone's kind of converging up towards top. He'll be spotted. You'll see Silent. You'll see Sioma. Shuriken, Trick Shot. TP coming in from the Ember. Does he have detection? You bet he does. And Sioma's going to get jumped. Rooted down. Patos and Exotic Deer all here to surround the Bounty Hunter. And they'll take him down. No blink daggers, no problem for the Singularity side. Making this bounty hunter pay for his carrier snipes. The bounty hunter has already paid for himself. Dying a couple times is no big deal.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tower will fall.
Radiant structures
In Vega,
fortified.
looking to defend their own structures, but coming in perhaps a little bit too late.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
4 hero
attack.
movement towards bottom, and Singularity see this one coming a mile away. I mean, there's no one farming bottom. There's no one pushing top anymore. Where can they possibly be? Smoked up, Afterlife. We'll see everyone duel in towards Elisage. Poor CM is going to get some help from the Shrine. Healed up quite a bit. Will still be a win for the Legion Commander, but you will give her life shortly after. Real you, Aloha Dance wants more. Upheaval is fully channeled. Chains will miss. Silent will finally get that stop canceled, but here comes G onto the bear, and he will prove to be the alpha. That will also end up killing the Phoenix in the back. Nisha will get tracked up and will be fine. But that was a 3-for-1 exchange plus dual damage achieved here by the Legion Commander. That's what I'm looking for these blink daggers for Vega. And this is kind of what they have to do in order to constantly apply this pressure. If you let Singularity farm up, they will get into a position of recovery. Although the Abaddon is not going for Hand of Midas. He's not going to have that power farming build extremely quickly. He is still in a little bit of trouble here, gonna be honest. Oh, Elisage is also... Oh, bash. There's a basher on G. First hit. Like, why does he have a bash? Why is he stunned? There's a basher, okay. 8,200 net worth lead for the Vega Squadron side. The spread of farm is favoring them so much. Just look at this Phoenix. She's got nothing. Look at the CM. She has just as much of nothing. Their supports, Singularity, are just so broke. Their cores are doing kind of okay, but not good enough to overcome this deficit, especially since the deficit is just growing. Sioma is working with that track, although I don't think he's gotten any track kills yet. The potential for Bounty Hunter to just explode out of control is there. Same thing for the Legion Commander, same thing for the Lifestealer with his Midas. Singularity, though, with the levels on the Phoenix, now level 6, at least have a chance in taking a team fight if they're all there. Maybe if they separate Vega, try to kite them a little bit, because all their cores are melee. Like Lifestealer, Ursa, Legion, they all have ways of answering kiting, like Open Wounds, Basher, and the Duel. But that's their best bet, Singularity. If they're somehow able to scrape together a Force Staff, get that Savage Roar to land, get the Root to land on one of these heroes. Again, they have ways of operating in these fights. It's just really hard to manage. Sioma's going to get dusted again. No one's TPing in. And Sioma's going to TP out, so pulls out another dust, gets away. This game state still not working out for Singularity. Again, no assertive action means that for Vega, they can really do whatever they want. Being granted full vision because of this constant scouting from the Bounty Hunter. And Singularity just aren't farming as much as Vega are. Jump in, G, testing his luck against the Abaddon. In the meantime, they'll lose the Phoenix elsewhere. Looks like that was a dual win. Yes, on the Firebird. They pull out the Abaddon's ultimate, and Patos will survive. The Phoenix in the wrong neighborhood has very little to do once he gets dueled. Take your hands off your keyboard and accept your fate. Tower will fall. Lifestealer now kicking into gear with that tower pushing ability. Does have that Desolator. And a hell of a lot of damage behind that as well. Should also clear them to take out the next Roche, although with Ursa, it's not like they need the extra damage. Now even G is doing a little bit of damage here. Plus 59 is not a bad amount on an Ursa, who usually just works with Fury Swipes and Enrage. Oh no. CM. Run away. Hide. Don't move. The Ursa's vision is based on movement. Okay. CM, as long as you get out of there, I'm happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. The Ursa's gonna get his Aegis reclaimed. But Vega pretty much have a monopoly on that double life. It'll be really nice if Singularity are somehow able to steal that. What is Elisage doing right now? Farming the enemy woods. This is so risky from the CM. Pull the golems back, hide in the woods. Oh no. Sioma being chased down by Nisha. Rooted down again. Stick charges will buy a little bit of time, but it's irrelevant. Bounty Hunter again. Wandering around gets picked off. Every single offensive play from Sioma is kind of getting punished now. But in the end, you gotta consider, is this actually worth it? Because they are farming top, bottom, and will assassinate Catcher with the Basher. Oh my god, this Ursa is a menace. Now with the Enrage, get some help with the Warlock Rock. He might be able to turn around here. Elisash gonna drop his ultimate. That won't really do all that much. Dual Scepter onto the Ursa. TPs are coming in. Ursa gonna fight to the bitter end. Will fall, giving up a 4-kill streak. Although the upheaval is maxed out at this point. Nisha not going anywhere. Patos extremely slow as well. They are eventually gonna get out of there, but here comes Afterlife. There is a target in the Abaddon. The reinforcements from Vega just a little bit too slow. The Ursa kind of going a little bit too greedy there for the supports. CM was picked off in the end. Afterlife still sees Patos here. I think they might be able to kill him off, although they do want to taste your target. They're going to jump in, looking for the ultimate to pop, but he'll die immediately. Now Nisha is going to get dueled up. Can they bring down the Ember Spirit before the Supernova pops? It looks like they will. That's a track kill as well. Supernova's going to stun them both. Afterlife will fall for it. And Aloha Dance, still very healthy, is just going to run in for Catcher. Shuriken going to land to Exotic Deer. They're looking for an Entangle. He'll get it with a Savage Roar and take down Lifestealer. No, gets so much health back because of the open wounds on the bear. Beast is going to get him back up to near full HP, and Sioma is going to get a couple of tracks onto Catcher, now onto Elisash. They're going to get right on top of the CM and to start beating her down. Shuriken won't get the kill though. Elisash is very lucky to have survived that. Man, it seems like that should have been a kill, but there was no rage from the Lifestealer, so Frostbite did stick. Real You, Aloha Dance will go into the tower, secure that as well. And that's that love-hate relationship I was describing earlier. You can entangle the Lifestealer, you can control him with Savage Roar, but Lifestealer is so good at killing your bear and healing off of it as well. And killing you also. Like, this Lone Druid has a lot of HP, and that's exactly what Lifestealer wants. He was at, like, 10 HP. Open wounds, feast hits. Suddenly he's pretty much at full. Didn't even have to go back to the base. G. Rage off of that Frostbite. 12-9. This lead is growing for Vega. Singularity, we could see starting to make some type of play in this game. Just not enough. Do they have their Radiance up yet? They have to, right? They'll look for Silent first. Silent has a lot of cover, though. In Afterlife, going to dump in for the poor Firebird. Freezing Field is going to drive them back, but do no damage. Where is the bear? I don't even know where the bear is. Oh no, I know where CM is. Taking a lot of damage, somehow survives. Are you kidding me? Here comes Aloha Dance, and Elisash is still surviving. Will eventually be brought down though, and Abaddon stuck in the upheaval. Gets a full heal with his ultimate. Who cares? He's not going anywhere anytime soon. G's just stopped canceling the clap. Double kill for Aloha Dance. Is Roshan up? You bet it is. And G's gonna have something to say about that. Even gets a double damage rune just because. This is Roshan down. And this time for Singularity, no one's in position to make any sort of cute steal play. Double life picked up for the Ursa. With a fresh BKB, he's ready to go. With the AC, that's fresh on the Lifestealer as well. They're ready to go on him. And Warlock does have that level 2 ultimate. He is also ready to go. Everyone on Vega Squadron are prepped and ready for this upcoming Doom push, which should at the very least get them 2 tier 2 towers. They may decide to poke up the high ground just to try to open up the shrine for Raxes, just for shrines. But I mean, they have like the entire map right now. Everything Vega wants is theirs for the taking. Singularity, I don't know what they need. They need G to like misclick or misplay somehow and go in too deep, or get chain stunned to death. And also need Elisash to not die to Aloha Dance. Will survive. Patos getting clawed down. Will have his ultimate popped and he won't get any healing off of it. He'll drop the rock onto everyone. G's gonna jump in as well, assassinate the Phoenix. There goes the Supernova chances, and there goes your Abaddon. That means the sustain is gone. Nisha's gonna do what he can with the Yule Scepter to buy himself a little bit of time. Will jump out of there. Elisash gonna second guess his ultimate, and will cancel it. Now the jump in from the Ursa. This bear is angry. This bear didn't even use BKB. It's like, I don't even need 10 seconds of magic immunity to whoop your ass. He's gonna get pushed back by the Savage Roar, but now since they took another big team fight, Vega will take Raxes in mid and bottom. All these barracks will fall. No creeps, no problem. They have the Desolator. They don't need anything. They're going to go for a little bit more though. I think there's a duel waiting for Nisha. No. In the tier 4s, they're gonna play it cautiously as they should at this stage. Carelessly giving up kills is the great way to get Singularity back into this game. They'll just take the objectives and then back out, at least as best they can. Bet G wants to go back in though, wants to kill off a bear. Maybe that's why I don't know what the bear has, because it's always dying immediately. G's gonna pop BKB to escape. Elisash being driven away. Oh, look at all that damage. Shuriken bouncing through onto 3. 2 racks taken, and good game is called. This was the second stomp of the day. Earlier we had Alliance get Raffle stomped. And now we have Singularity. Dropping out of the tournament.